What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? Ain't nobody having a legendary day. Let's just keep it 100. Anyway, unfortunately, we got to break up that severe ass whooping we took yet on Sunday. But before we get started, man, way to sell yourself, T. Before we get started, of course, stay tuned to the end of the show for your special 10% off coupon code for season 2 for the Faithful by the Faithful apparel. You see our Run CMC shirts. We got those coming up probably, hopefully, by the end of the week. They'll be available. Make sure you get your pre-orders in by messaging Niner Faithful Radio Shop. Also, save 10% by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link and help out Niner Faithful Radio. Link is in the description of the video or podcast. Go get your new Christian McCaffrey Niner jersey. Go to cgiant.com. Use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. To see everywhere you can subscribe to the show, go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. Tune into our weekly news wrap show, NFR Weekly News Wrap, every Friday at 7 p.m. here on the West Coast. And make sure you catch our Week 8 game day shows. Pregame will be coming to you live at noon. Jason will have halftime for you. And, of course, Jamie will have your postgame at 9 p.m. here on the West Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's get the show cracking.
You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful, by the faithful.
All right, we're back. Jason is running late. Hopefully, we'll get him towards the end of the show, or maybe hopefully more than towards the end of the show, but hopefully we'll get him here pretty quickly. What we're gonna do real quick to try to buy some more time for him. Why don't we go ahead and take our Twitch commercial, and those who are listening to the podcast and listening on YouTube and Facebook, you'll still be able to hear us and see us, but we're going to go ahead and take a 3-minute Twitch break real quick. All right, that's that. And okay, so if you're watching on Facebook, unfortunately, Facebook comments aren't working right now. Oh man, so there's so much to get into. So much to get into. I don't want to be on the fire Kyle train because I'm like, who are we gonna get? But there's something wrong. Yeah, it's still not letting me share the show. Man, that's ridiculous. So apparently, for those who watch the pregame show, I'm banned from sharing any of NFR shows. Man, this has just been a very shitty week. Bubby liked the video. Oh, well, hopefully y'all can hear me. I think y'all can hear me. The mic was working. So before we get started, Niners released running back Tevin Coleman. That's no surprise when we traded for Christian McCaffrey. By the way, the Niners traded for Christian McCaffrey since our last show. Since we did the Friday show, obviously pretty much the day of the trade. And obviously the pregame shows, I kind of forgot that, a lot's happened since the last show. Not just as far as, the Niners are concerned, but out on the field, but we did trade for Christian McCaffrey. Jason and I will give that opinion, so I'll wait either until next week or he comes. But I just wanted to go ahead and get into that. The Niners went ahead and released Tevin Coleman. So we got. I just looked at it. I'm slacking in my macking. 46 seconds left in our Twitch commercial. Facebook comments apparently aren't working. At least, well, nobody's watching on Facebook anyway. That's what StreamYard had told me when I went live. So how long do we have left? 20 seconds. All right. Let me refresh, see if we have any latest headlines. How about interesting power rankings? Okay. Here we go. All right, we're back. So obviously everybody knows. What up? What's up, fam? How you doing, baby? Good to see you. Everyone knows Niners lost. I mean, we all know that. You're watching the show, you watch the game. I highly, highly doubt anybody watches the show. Sorry, dust on my microphone. Anybody who watches the show watches the games. I don't think that there's anything that I would be very surprised if that's not the case. It's the offense. And I know everybody's going to point to the finger at the defense, and I'll get into that. And obviously, the defense did have that didn't sound good. Something happened with my computer or my fiance's computer. Obviously, the defense had its own issues, and we'll get into some of the defensive issues. I have a very interesting stat that I actually got to go run and grab my phone for, or that bit me. But I'll get that when we talk about the defense. I want to start with the offense. It's a multi-year issue. I mean, what did Jason and I say a couple weeks ago? Jason and I said a couple weeks ago that the Niners offense basically, has mostly been George Kittle doing some crazy shit or Debo breaking 1,000,000 tackles, especially last year. Last year, essentially, our offense was Debo breaking in tackles and just going ham on everybody. So I think people might romanticize this 2021 a little bit too much. And I saw this tweet, and I'm not in the fire Kyle train or all that, but it's just something's not right when I saw a tweet that said, look, beyond everything you want to say about Shanahan or everything, do the 49ers look well coached? No. We did not look like a well-coached football team on Sunday. Now, the Nick Bosa offsides, whatever. He was offsides, at least according to the blue line. So I'm not gonna get mad at Nick Bosa. Just whatever. That's some fluke shit, and just make sure for every offsides that you call, you're calling when he's getting chokeholded. Just saying. And I will say there's some clear penalties that the Chiefs did get away with, but I'm sorry, you don't lose a football game 44-23 by the refs, and just in that fashion. I'm gonna break down the drives for y'all right now. Sorry, I needed to take a sip. Okay, this is Kansas City's drives. First drive, interception, touchdown, touchdown, missed field goal, touchdown, 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 punt, end of game. That's their ball possession chart. They had 10 possessions yesterday. They scored a touchdown on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 10 possessions. Really, 6 out of 9 possessions. So you had, and they really should have scored on 7 of 9. You had an interception and then a punt with 21 seconds left. And with 21, sorry, not 21 seconds left. I read that wrong. 21 seconds had passed. Basically, the punt and then the end of the game. The final 2 drives really don't count. So you're talking about 8 drives and they scored on 6 of them. And it was all touchdowns. And they should have had a field goal. Which honestly, that was one of the only blips I saw by Andy Reid all game, really. Is I definitely thought that they should have at least thrown it once to the end zone. But here, I saw this on NFR's page. I think this is one of the ones I wanted to use. It's about Shanahan. Let me go ahead and pull. You know what? Let me go grab my phone. It was dying, so I had to go and charge it before the show. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up right now. Go to my gallery. Well, that's actually a little positive stat that we're going to get to in a second. Okay. Down at halftime this season, the Niners have been down in 2 games at halftime. We're 0-2. Since 2017, we've been down at halftime in 37 games. We're 7-30. Down after 3 quarters this season, we've been down twice. We're 0-2. Down at 3 quarters, we've been down 35 times. We're 4-31. Down 3+ points after 3 quarters since 2017. It's happened 31 times, and we're 1-30. Down by 3 points entering the 4th quarter. 3+ points. A field goal. Down by a field goal. Going into the 4th quarter, where you're going to assume to have multiple possessions with a defense-led team, and you've got 1 win, and it's very difficult to be, because I don't want to solely point that at Kyle, because ultimately when you talk about where did the game change yesterday, the game changed with that pick in the red zone. That, to me, this is not, it's very clear. This isn't the 2019 Niners. The 2019 Niners score right there. At least a field goal, probably a touchdown, but at least a field goal. Because one of the things that we've been able to hold our hats on in 2019 and 2021 and a little bit in 2020 is at least being a good red zone team. So they muffed the punt, right? Yeah, I want to get this exact scenario right. So, here we go. 1st quarter, 2nd quarter. Here we go. Let's see right here. So the Niners punt the ball. Yeah, okay. So the 2-minute warning comes out. It happens. Jimmy throws incomplete to Juice. We get a false start penalty by Jalen Moore, pushes us back. Wish punts the ball. It's muffed and recovered at the KC 12. We go Christian McCaffrey up the gut for 1 yard. Kansas City calls a timeout at 1:39. Jimmy Sharko pass to Deebo Samuel. He gets to the 1 or to the 5. And then pass intended for George Kittle, which I was giving Jimmy. I don't know how to say this, but I thought it was to Ray McLeod. If that was the fucking George Kittle, what the fuck? That's a fucking garbage throw. Like, you cannot throw the ball like that in the red zone, bruh. Rich Gannon, I guess, on Monday Night Football one time said that he had a coach. Everybody assumed it's John Gruden that basically said it's better to lose a baby than to throw a pick in the red zone. That right there, and of course you don't want to admit it during the game, but sitting here pretty over 48 hours later, that's what lost us the ball game right there. Now, because that took all momentum, I want to make sure I get the score right. Let me see. Score at halftime was 14-13. So you're up at least 16-14. Maybe 20-7. Or 20-13. KC gets the ball come out the first half. Fine. You get the 55-yard kick return. You give up the 55-yard kick return. They take the touchdown. Still, you're only down a point. The ball game is completely different. You can run the ball. Christian McCaffrey, who looked like a fucking beast, probably takes over this ball game. Jeff Wilson Jr. was having an excellent game. We were running the ball the first half. How many? Let me look it up right now. I want to tell y'all exactly how many yards we had rushing in the first half. First half summary. Let's see. For third down. Up to plays, net yards rushing. First half summary. Kansas City had 197. We had 146. So they were out rushing us. Oh, hello there from work. Jason giving a shout out to the show. Oh, he said wrong account. But okay, Jason, drop in your comments. Just real quick, your thoughts on the game. I'll read them on air. But that right there, the whole fucking game just switched. We were running the ball well. Then you come out at halftime, you're down a point, you're down by 8 points. And it was clear the D wasn't going to stop on Kansas City. And what did Jason said? Terrible coaching. See, I'm not so much down on the coaching this week as far as execution. I'm down on the coaching as far as how the fuck was there so many false starts? How do you have a false start on the field goal unit, bro? Like, you might have missed it when I talked about it earlier, Jason, but I said I saw a tweet out there that said, take away every record, everything that happened at Kyle Shanahan. Use your eyes. Do the 49ers look like a well-coached football team? And I said, no. We did not look like a well-coached football team on Sunday. Even the eye test, even though we're only down by 1 point, Jimmy wasn't playing that great. The only really positive things from the first half were Jeff Wilson Jr. and Christian McCaffrey, which is excellent. I'm glad. Oh, replacement is here finally. Okay, good. So I'll try to stretch it to 5. We'll see what we can do. Let me know when you're back home. So, on my way home for sure. Got you, bro. I'm not as bad down on the coaching as much. I'm just saying, as far as execution, it was the play of Jimmy. Let's be real. Offensively, we'll get to the defense here in a second. Oh, he said no worries. There's hella traffic. Okay, so it might be me solo for the rest of the show. We'll see how far we can stretch it. You can't throw that pick. I said it. I'm saying it. That cost us the ball game. It's a totally different ball game. I'm sorry, y'all, watching and everything like that. This fuzz on my mic is really bugging me. It cost us the ball game. I remember when we kicked the first field goal. I was like, when we kicked the first field goal, I was a little disappointed, but whatever. Get on the board. The second field goal, I'm like, bro, you're not gonna beat Patrick Mahomes kicking fucking field goals. 10-0, 14-0, it's all the same. But it should have been walked away being 17-0. And that's on the offense. It's on the offense. This year, now you could say whatever about the defense. This year, I'm putting it all on the offense. So what? Last 2 weeks, the defense hasn't been fucking elite. Ooh, defense hasn't been elite the last 2 weeks. Man, our offense can't step it up for 2 weeks. The second half has been an issue all season. Teams are making adjustments, and I'm not saying we're not making adjustments, but we're making the wrong adjustments. And if you are on the fire Kyle train, I'll give you one thing that I would fully agree on you. Kyle Shanahan has been out-coached almost every game. The Bears game, I don't really feel he was out-coached. The Seahawks, I feel like, yeah, Pete Carroll made some stupid decisions or anything like that, but he wasn't out-coached then. But especially offensively versus defensively. He was out-coached against the Broncos. The Yams, fine, I'll give you that. That's just, it is what it is. We all know what that is. Carolina, the offense really wasn't that great. Let's remember what turned that game around was the pick 6 by Mosley. Offense wasn't looking that great. Atlanta, we all saw what happened in Atlanta, especially the second half. And then you got this week. So what, 2-3 weeks Kyle didn't get out coached? That's an issue when I just looked at the schedule and I said, now this one, I will admit, this is the ones I said, hey, this could be different. Kyle might very well get out coached this game. I mean, Andy Reid's a great coach. You saw what the perfect synchronization between quarterback and coach yesterday. Offensive coach, had play caller, etc. And you saw the exact opposite on the Niners sideline. And what is concerning is it shouldn't be like this. I mean, I understand Jimmy's limitations, but the offense should be able to function. Isn't that what we're told? Wasn't that why we told that it didn't matter Jimmy didn't have a training camp? We were told he knows the offense. He's worked with Debo. He's worked with Brandon Ayuk. He's worked with George Kittle. He's worked with these running backs, or at least Jeff Wilson and Elijah Mitchell, but before he was hurt. This is blowing up in our face. And the reason I'm saying it blowing up our face is people say, well, you're on your backup quarterback. So, yeah, if it was Brock Purdy, sure, I would expect the results we've been getting, or at least understand them. But the whole thing when we were sold about Jimmy coming back, I don't see it. I don't see no reason not to try out Brock Purdy. I'm not saying that you need to do that. But, I mean, could he have played worse than Jimmy yesterday? Results would have not been much different. Now, obviously, Jimmy needs to be the starter going forward until we're out of it, if we ever do get out of it. But that was just pathetic. Now, give me a second, y'all, to calm down and everything like that. Let me pull up these things I was telling y'all about. The defensive one. The 49ers rushing, this is from Akash Anatharathan. Rushing defense splits with Eric Armstead have been eye-opening. With Armstead, 2.8 yards per carry allowed, 64 rush yards per game. Without Eric Armstead, 4.9 rushing yards per game allowed, 111 yards per game allowed. Yeah, Eric Armstead needs to come back ASAP. Let me play a cast about the injuries. He did actually speak about Eric Armstead, but I didn't clip that.
Injuries from the game. Deebo Samuel has a hamstring. He'll be day-to-day. Greenlaw has a calf day-to-day. Juszczyk broke his finger, has surgery today. Most likely won't be available this week. Should get him after the bye.
Okay, so hamstring for Deebo. He gets hamstring injuries. So I know they said day to day and everything like that, but what's concerning is this might linger a little bit. And not necessarily that it's going to prevent him from playing or anything like that, but I mean, this isn't just going to go away. So that's something definitely to keep an eye on. Dre Greenlaw with his calf. Dre Greenlaw hurt. Big surprise. Now they did show him on the TV yesterday walking around. And with some type of compression sleeve or something on his calf. So he's obviously trying to warm it up and keep it warm and trying to go into the game, but just simply couldn't. Dre Greenlaw hurt. Ooh, big surprise. The Juice breaking his finger. It's funny because I thought he dislocated it. But I'm coming to find out he broke it. Oh, sorry, that's probably not smart to do in the mic. That's because he got jammed in the face mask of whatever chief player it was that was trying to tackle. He was trying to stiff arm. Whew, that sucks. That did not look like it felt good. Whew. Injuries. Craziness. Well, Kyle said that Eric Armstead might be available this week. He said there's no exact timetable on it. They just got to, stop it from flaring up. But that running statistic is quite concerning. Especially when it's one player. That's the difference. Now, obviously, Nick Bosa missed the game in the stretch without Eric Armstead. But Nick Bosa was back yesterday. Now, how back was he? How healthy was he? He said he felt perfect. But probably good enough to go. He wasn't healthy. He was good enough to play, but he wasn't healthy. Nick Bosa's not 100%. Now, Kyle's put a lot of it on, not practicing with a lot of these players who are coming back. Charvarius Ward, who, let's be real, looked like played like hot garbage yesterday. The whole defense did. Fred Warner, I want to be cautious when I say this. He's not really I just feel like he's really not having that great of a season. I feel last year he really didn't have that great of a season. That's a little concerning that he's not having the world's greatest seasons the year of and the year after he signed his big deal. That's quite concerning, considering a lot of the Niners defense and one of the core players that you said, hey, these are one of the franchises that will be in red and gold for a very long time, and that we're building our team, our culture around is Fred Warner. So defensively, I mean, first off, tip your hat to Kansas City. I mean, we have to say that was just an offensive clinic. Clearly, that they're a better football team since we played them in the Super Bowl. Because I mean, that was a clinic. Whew. Excuse me, I'm yawning over here. Yeah, I'm not allowed to see the show. I'm not allowed to share the show. I'm sorry, y'all. So I don't know when I'm allowed to share again. Hopefully they tell me something. Anyway, what do we do going defensively going forward? Because I'm not assuming Eric Armstead's coming back. I'm not saying he's going to miss the rest of the season. I'm just not expecting him back. He's just to show up he's just going to be back when he's back. Azeez, I believe they said it's the week after the bye he can return. As Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, that missed tackle was right after, I want to say it was the last Niner touchdown, where I felt like we might get back into this thing. Let me go ahead and look up the play-by-play. Let me see. No. Yeah. It was the drive to make it. Let me see. It was to make it 23 to 20. Right? Yeah, 28. Because we started the fourth quarter. Yeah. The ball and everything. So it was just, whenever we felt like we were getting into the game, just things would happen. I mean, that missed tackle, I was just like, man. And that's what you really kind of started to feel like, all right, bro, it's just not our. Honestly, it felt like that for a while. And I knew that they were going to come in, they were going to score some points. Like I said, it was 28-16. Get that stop. What stop? 2 stops. That just would have been 3 stops on the day. That's all the defense would have needed. 3 stops on the day, and we might have very well won this ball game. Because pretty much what Jason and I told you how we could lose this ball game happened. I said we're not going to outduel the Chiefs. We were not scoring 45 points yesterday. That wasn't. Now you can discuss that as an issue. Yeah, it's an extreme issue. I just read the stats about being down by only 3+ points. I'll tell you right now, the one win was it was 4 points against the Yams. It was 4 points against the Yams. It's the biggest quote unquote fourth quarter comeback we've had under Shanahan. Deficit as well. I mean, that's the biggest deficit we've overcame in the fourth quarter, or going into the fourth quarter at least. 4 points. And that team was expected to score 45 yesterday to win the game. 6 touchdowns the defense gave up. 6. I think he gave up that many all season. I mean, yeah, they have obviously. But I mean, damn. So I bumped into my old assistant manager yesterday at work, and we were talking, and I said, that's just a game we can't win. We're not a team built to come from behind. And we're not going to score 45 points. So what does that mean? What does that mean for the 2022 49ers prospects of winning a Super Bowl? Is this even a Super Bowl team? I think we need to slow our roll. I think we need to stop calling ourselves contenders until proven. Like, I mean, we're contenders by default because the NFC is so crazy. And fine, we could come out and look like gangbusters against the Yams on Sunday, and everybody's all happy and everything. But to me, if you step back, what made this loss yesterday worse was the Atlanta loss. Because, of course, I think I said this in the pregame or last week's show. If you wanted one of the next 2, it was going to be against the Yams. You just said, whatever, we'll chalk up the game to the Chiefs. What's concerning is the way we looked. And fine, we could, like I said, we can come out and look like gangbusters against the Yams on Sunday. Awesome, everything. But that doesn't really solve our problem because clearly that's what we look against the Yams. But we're not going to play them again unless it's in the playoffs. So we can't depend on, we're going to get right against the Yams. Well, that ain't coming again the rest of the year. So what are you going to do when Tampa Bay comes in? What are you going to do if we have to go to Green Bay in the playoffs? I like our chances because it's a defensive struggle. But then again, Aaron Rodgers can make just one play. So it's still scary. But Green Bay in January, as far as it did take some incredible plays to beat them last year. But that's not as scary as maybe going to Tampa Bay, which I understand they don't look like gangbusters. But Tom Brady can just put together a game. So, what are we going to do if we play the Bills in the Super Bowl? You think that offense that we saw on that field Sunday can go to toe with Josh Allen? Really? What happens if we play the Chiefs again? This team's not ready. It does not look like this team's ready to compete against teams like that. Not from what we saw on Sunday. It does not look like this team is ready to compete. Let me see. Jason, if you're still watching, drop me an ETA. Because if Jason's not close, then I'll go ahead and wrap it up here in a little bit. But I don't know the answers. We're not making another trade. I saw somebody here. Rumor about Matt Ryan getting traded to the Niners. Yeah, okay. With what picks? I want to make sure I get the exact picks right. Big shout out to Mama Debbie for sharing this. But we've got 2 third-rounders, five fifth-rounders, a 6th-rounder, and a 7th-rounder. I mean, and we don't even have next year's second. So what would we trade? What would we trade for Matt Ryan? No reinforcements are coming. Christian McCaffrey is our reinforcement, which fine. He looks like a hell of a reinforcement. And it looks like he'll be productive. My whole idea why I was upset was the draft capital. I felt we gave up too much. But that just looked like it was going to be doing the price of business. The Panthers just weren't. There was another team they have who are willing to part with the 2nd, the 3rd, and apparently next year's 5th. Apparently what made the deal was throwing in that 4th-rounder. Yams didn't have one. Niners did. So we got a comment. Something I miss you, my boy. What's good, baby? Miss you too, bro. My nigga Jerry. Anyway, Big Jerry in the house. So we're not no reinforcements are coming. This is the football team we have. Now, of course, once healthy, I don't think that the game's as bad if you have Eric Armstead out there and Javon Kinlaw. Javon Kinlaw ain't coming back this year. I mean, that's not official, but that's my belief. So wait, he got the works done. Pretty much a new knee. He literally didn't have a knee replacement. But I mean, yeah, ACL, all that. This was pretty much going to be like, hey, this is our last hope. And the Niners said they expected some swelling and some setbacks and everything like that. But clearly they didn't expect this. Because if they did and they didn't prepare for it, that's negligence. And I don't believe that they're not negligent. So what? What do we do? Because this is the answer. Now, I think we'll be fine overall. I mean, Nick Bosa is going to continue to make his plays. I think Christian McCaffrey will be more integrated more into the offense. And he looked fabulous. It's the ultimate hope, which I felt like I said, look, I had a feeling he's going to be productive if healthy, knock on wood. So Production, I don't think will be the problem because when healthy, he's been productive. I mean, look at his stats. I want to believe this football team can get it together. Partly, yeah, because of what we saw last year, and I understand it's a different team. Not that much, though. And fine, you got Trent Williams back, Mike McClinchy. They said Kyle said they made it out healthy and fine. Apparently, I think Travarius wasn't healthy enough to play, and I think he pushed himself to play because it was the Chiefs. But he wasn't listed on the injury report. So there you go. So Travarius is back. Jimmy Ward. Why was Jimmy Ward out there? Everybody says, well, he's one of your best players. Was he, though? Because he didn't play one of our best players yesterday. And fine, I understand. Having a club on your head, I totally understand all that. I applaud Jimmy Ward for coming out there and being – that is a – I love Jimmy Ward. But he was hurting the team yesterday. Love you, Jimmy Ward. But your play was negatively affecting the team. I can't have you out there. I understand that Jimmy Ward with the club is better than most people, most nickelback linebacker that we have. Excuse me. But he wasn't playing like that. Yeah, I do believe having a player without a club on his hand would have been more productive. And I'm not knocking Jimmy Ward for playing. I love his heart. I love his, hey, team first mentality. And let's be real, he wants to get paid this offseason and he knows. And also, as literally pretty much no tape until yesterday. You know, they say resume. Well, he hadn't been able to update his resume this season. So going into free agency, which, by the way, I think trading for Christian McCaffrey means Jimmy Ward's done. And I think I'm plenty. But I'll talk about that when Jason gets here. I don't think he died. Anyway, so I believe if this thing is going to turn around, it's going to be because we get healthy, players start to practice more, get into a better rhythm. As we get healthy, the offensive line will start to gel more, which, by the way, big shout out to Aaron Banks. I want to say it was something like a 90 PFF grade yesterday. Aaron Banks is having a pretty damn good season. I believe he's yet to give up a sack. So maybe people were a little quick to call Aaron Banks a bust, myself included. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily used the bust word, but yeah, I was getting a little Joshua Garnett PCSD. But big shout out to Aaron Banks. I want to say I said that I did have something positive to read. Which is cool. 4 players in NFL history had 100 yards receiving and 5 rushing touchdowns in a season. 2 of them on the 49ers now. 2021, Debo did it. 2019, Christian McCaffrey did it. 1999, Marshall Falk did it, and 1985, Roger Craig did it. Well, that what three of those four are Niners. But what I'm not understanding, yeah, three of those four are Niners. Although Christian McCaffrey wasn't a Niner. Although Christian McCaffrey wasn't a Niner when he did it. All these and the talent, just Kittle Corn having a monster game. Kittle Corn showing out on National Tight End Day. I hate when people say tight ends day. No, if you listen to the clip, which I had, but I deleted. If you listen to the clip of Jimmy Garoppolo, what does he say? It's National Tight End Day. It's a holiday. So, but why are we only putting up 23 points? 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals. That's not acceptable. That's not. Let me go ahead. We're gonna take one more Twitch commercial. I'm gonna message Jason, and we're gonna see if we're gonna go ahead and wrap up or not. We'll be back. Okay, people on YouTube, Twitch, and the podcast, y'all will just have to bear with me. 1 second. I went ahead and messaged him. If he's driving, he's obviously not gonna. Come on. All right, he's writing. He's writing. Give us a second. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and end it. All right. Yeah. So as soon as we get back from our Twitch commercial, in a minute and 45 seconds, we'll go ahead and end it. Let me refresh the Niner page, see if we have any more updates. Yeah, even Jason said, yeah, it's best. Look, people need to show up for their shifts at work. Like, or at least call. Anyway, we're a minute and 16 seconds left. I'm only really just doing this because I don't want to end during a commercial break. Oh, actually, let me not forget to do that. Twitch. Oh no, I have Twitch open. I'm just getting everything ready. Studio. Audio. Getting everything ready for the podcast to end. So sad. Yeah, I think that's it that we'll need. I got to switch out to Facebook and Twitter later. Yeah, all right. How much time do we have left? 13, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Joe. Jason's not gonna be back for at least a half an hour, and I don't feel like making this a 2-hour show. So we're gonna go ahead and end it. We'll talk Christian McCaffrey and probably have a lot more to talk about next week. Thank y'all for tuning in. Before we get out of here, of course, we have to tell you that use the promo code BLA to save 10% on For the Faithful, by the Faithful Season 2 apparel, available exclusively through NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop. I promise y'all right now, I'm making the coupon active as we speak. BLA right here. Coupon will expire. I'll tell you right now. November 1st, 2021. Excludes any on sale items. Use the promo code BLA. Save 10% by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link. Help out Niner Faithful Radio. Link is in the description of the video or podcast. Go to cgiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. To see everywhere you can subscribe to the show, go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. And make sure you tune into NFL Weekly News Wrap this Friday at 7 p.m. here on the West Coast. And catch our game day shows. Pre-game's coming to you at noon. Halftime show will be at halftime and 9 p.m. for our post-game show. Ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, I shall see you on Sunday for Niner Faithful Radio pregame. Till then, please remember, the San Francisco 49ers don't always lose a game, but when we do, still the best team in the history of the NFL. Stay faithful, my friends. Go Niners.
You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful, by the faithful.
See ya.